Good evening, lady entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs. Welcome to our webinar today. I'm so glad that you managed to join in and to join in on time. For that, give yourselves a thumbs up and a clap for coming in on time. And we are excited to have you here with us. We can't wait to get into the program for today, which will be Module 2 in the Foundations program on digital skills training. Just give me a minute. Let me share the screen with you so that we can be able to follow. As we go through in the chat, like I mentioned even in the WhatsApp group, let's keep networking. Let's keep telling each other what we do, who we are, what we do. You never know who might be looking for the kind of service that you provide, and they will be able to reach out to you once you introduce yourself. If you don't introduce yourself, they might never get to know that you provide that service. So do go ahead, introduce yourself in the chat. Also, if you have any questions, also do put them in the chat so that we are able to follow up. Doreen will be keeping a tab on all the questions that you ask so that we can answer them somewhere in the middle and also at the end. So once again, women entrepreneurs, welcome to today, module 2, which is building an online presence. Now, when it comes to building an online presence, there is something I like saying: you can be a ghost in the online space, or you can actually be present in the online space. So I want to see how many of us have an actual online presence. How many of us actually are online and are online consistently and showing up for their businesses? And how many of us are having a ghost relationship with the online space? 1 minute we are there, 1 minute we are not there, we disappear for 3 months, then we come back and we still want to imagine people still remember our business and those kind of things. How many of us do not have an online presence at all? Let me see in the comments, or a thumbs up if you have been very consistent. And if you have not been very consistent, let's see the emoji, the reaction for thumbs down to show that yes, you're online, but somehow, somewhat, you're not showing up as you should. Because in the online space, you're going to be as successful as how well you show up. So as we start the module for today, let's look at a recap of last lesson. We looked at the three terminologies: digitization, digitalization, and digital transformation. And we saw that digitization is where you convert your your analog or book records into a digital format. Let's say you take your ledger book and put it in Excel. You take your phone book that you had written in a notebook, and now you create a digital document that has your customer records. That is digitization. Digitization is primarily domiciled in either your phone or it is domiciled in your computer at work. Then digitalization is where now we take those digitized records and then now we put them out into the interwebs. So now you can be able to even play around and do some analytics with the data that we have. It is a step up from digitization, but for you to get to digitalization, you have to have digitized your records so that now you can put them into apps and then you can run the analysis. Then digital transformation is where we say now your business can be conducted 100% online. You may still have your physical presence, but now your business, from marketing to selling to payment, collecting payments, all those things, you can be able to do them online. That is when we say your business has been digitally transformed. You can run a business even if you closed your shop. So what is social media today? Because we are talking about building an online presence. And social media is interactive technologies that facilitate, one, creation, and two, sharing of information, ideas, interests, and other forms of expression through virtual communities and networks. So what does that mean? If you want to have an online presence, if you want to be playing in social media, then you have to join communities. You have to join communities. You look for groups where your ideal client would be likely to be found and join those groups. Then once you join the group, don't go there and play small. Go there and be present. When people ask questions in those groups, you answer, because that is the only way you will stand out in the crowded social media, and then create content and share it out there. That is what social media for business is. There is also social media for personal use. That is where now I go, I tell people, oh, the other day I was hiking Mount Longonot. And so I bring pictures. That is social media for social use. And ideally, social media at the beginning was created for that. But now it has morphed and it's also being used for business. So you need to differentiate when am I appearing on social media for my own personal validation and networking with my homies, people I already know, and when am I appearing in social media and networking for business building purposes. You can be able to do both and do it very well. You just need to be consistent on when you're posting marketing content, don't confuse them with something else that is not marketing content. So why social media? Why would you want to market on social media? One of the greatest things about social media, it is able to help your business, the business that you have in your bedroom, or if you're a home baker, the business that you have inside your kitchen, in your house. Social media comes, these apps come, and they're able to connect you to a lot of customers. Your existing customers you're able to remind them that you're still in existence. Then it is able to connect you to potential customers. So don't downplay social media. Social media has a wide reach. Like now, when I put out the flyer for this particular cohort, I got 140 people who showed interest. Some, after some time, they were like, okay, no, it might be a bit busy. If it's 5 weeks, I can't make it, etc. But I was able to get 140, and I did not advertise. I just put it in my social media networks, in the groups that I am in WhatsApp, on my WhatsApp status, on my Facebook story, on LinkedIn, and I was able to get that. So you can see social media, and I did it, I think, over 5 days. You, with consistent positioning yourself on social media, you can be able to reach out to a lot of potential clients, because by and large, majority of the people who have joined this cohort are people I didn't know before, but now we are going to become friends and social networks as a result of this. So don't downplay your WhatsApp status. It can help you attract a lot of customers. Don't downplay that post you put on Facebook. If you put it on your own timeline, and then you also post it in the groups where the virtual networks where your customer is likely to be found, you can really do a lot of business. So the functions of social media for business is, one, connection. Social media will help you to remain relevant and keep on reaching out to very many people at virtually no cost, unless either you're putting up ads, or maybe you're boosting a post on your social media. Most of the time, the connection is happening, and it is happening at no cost in terms of money to you. All it costs you is a little creativity and a little discipline on your part, and then your time, and then you're able to connect to people. Then the other thing that social media can help your business with is targeting. You're able to choose the right customers based on the types of groups that you join. And then from there, you can be able to promote your products and services. And go learn, go study about the groups you are in. And I will give an example of Facebook, because I'm in Facebook. Go into your groups and find out which are the marketing days. And on those marketing days, if there's a campaign you're running, or if there's something that you want to create awareness about, take advantage of the market days in the groups that you are in. Then social media also is a storefront for people. There are people who virtually have no business, physical businesses, but because of social media, they are able to present a whole catalog of things. You see ladies with a whole catalog of handbags, shoes, jewelry, and they're selling them through social media. So it becomes a shop front for you, even when you do not have physical stock. We all know, people know how to do it. Once you get an order, you know how to link up with where the items are, and you have formed a network with a delivery guy or something, and you're able to sell your products. So if you don't have a shop, then you need to be very big on social media. Let people think you have a warehouse behind you. And that time, all you have is your headrest for your bed behind you, but you're playing big on social media. So there are different types of social media. And one of the things in the task for this week, they will be asking us to choose social media, the social media networks that we want to play in, and what kind of strategy are we coming up with. So the first type, as we all know, are the social networks. These are the places where people go to go tear each other. People go to check out how other people are doing, who is posting what, etc. And the examples are Facebook, X, and LinkedIn. And then the second social media network is the media sharing network. These are the ones that now allow you, much as you can put images on Facebook, you can put images on LinkedIn. Those ones they were not built for a lot of images. Then there are these other ones that are called the media sharing networks that are purposed from the time they were developed to enable sharing of a lot of media. So the examples are YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. So this is where you put in your very good, beautiful looking photos. This is where you put your videos. And nowadays we have the opportunity to do reels and YouTube shorts. Your video, you don't need to spend a lot of money and come up with a 15, 20, 30-minute video. You can do it in just a couple of minutes and send it out there. You will be shocked at how much, if you do it consistently, you can be able to attract your ideal customers. Then the other thing that media sharing networks are good for is advertising. They help you be able to advertise what you do. And then now we have the social blogging networks. These are the places where you go to build thought leadership. Thought leadership means that you are branding yourself, or you're positioning yourself as an expert in the whatever it is you're talking about. If you're a dietitian, you're coming up or you're writing articles that position you as an expert in that field. If you're a photographer, you're educating us about how to stand so that you don't look so tall, how to stand so that you don't look so fat, what kind of angle to take that is more forgiving on your silhouette, etc. You are positioning yourself as a thought leader, as an expert, as a guru in that area. This one is slower in building new actual customers. But if you do it consistently, people now start referring you. You see somebody maybe on Facebook or Instagram, they have asked, where can I get I think my mother maybe has been diagnosed with diabetes. Where can I get a nutritionist or a dietitian? And then voila, all of a sudden people are mentioning your name. Why? They have been reading your articles, and you have been building your position as a thought leader in that area. So don't tire on writing blogs. It might not yield results in a week or even a month, but consistently done over time, it makes you very marketable for referrals. Then we have discussion networks, and these are sources of information. This is where people go and ask, I want to build a website. Which is the best platform to use? Then people who know the answers give their responses, and maybe they give examples, etc. So if you're very knowledgeable in a certain area, especially in the tech area, in the tech arena, go to these networks. The two examples I have here is Reddit and Quora. Quora is a very good one, especially when you're doing market research. You go ask questions there and people answer. And then the other one is the review networks. This is where now these networks have been built primarily to gather customers' feedback after they have consumed a product or a service. So you don't want, in the review networks, you don't want to start having poor ratings. You want to ensure that all the time your ratings are high. You have good ratings, because there are some people who, before they source for business from you, they first find out how you have been reviewed by others who have consumed your products. Any questions so far? Okay, now let's look at the choice of platforms, because now we have seen there the five. The last two, the discussion and review, those ones you might not use them to primarily advertise your business. You use them to grow your business indirectly. But for you, when you're considering what you need to do to choose a platform, first you look at your size of business. Some of them, like Instagram, okay, nowadays it's gone a bit softer, but the Instagram was very unforgiving on poorly done images. So you needed to invest some money to ensure that your images are good. But look at the size of your business, and then also the type of customers that you're dealing with. If you're dealing with old customers, you do not go to the younger generation, the Gen Zs, where they frequent, because your clientele is an older population. Then you look at your product or your service. Some products sell better in specific social media. For instance, if you are, say myself, you're a consultant, you offer corporate training or management consultancy services, ideally you want to go to a place where professionals gather. And a social media that is very good for that is LinkedIn. So you might get more traction in LinkedIn vis-a-vis going to Instagram with the same product offering. So choose a platform based on the size of your business. How many people do you have who can help you with posting on social media? And then the type of customers that you're dealing with and the product that you are dealing with. Okay. Then, Time, let's ask a few questions here. The first one is, which platforms do you think are most relevant for your business? Based on your business, are you a product-based business, or are you a service-based business? And if you're a service-based business, what kind of services do you offer? Because even a gym is a service-based business. What I do is a service-based business, but our clientele might be in different places, and the kind of marketing content we put out may be different. So, what kind of platforms do you think are most relevant after you've looked at the different types of social media? What are the most relevant ones? And just put the name go into the chat, put the name of your business or the type of business that you run, and then say, the social media networks I think would be good for me are 1, 2, 3. Aha. Then the second question is it better for an entrepreneur to take care of their social media account themselves, or is it better for an entrepreneur to hire a social media marketing freelancer? Which is which? Which is better? Somebody can unmute themselves and tell us what do you think? Is it better for you? You do it yourself. I mean, you're the founder. You know your business best, or is it better to get a social media marketer? Doreen, what is being said in the chats?
Winnie says, my business is Rosa Furniture and Interiors. I use Facebook and Instagram and recently TikTok.
All right.
Then,
So mine is in the media sharing.
Then we have Lois Ndiba, IFID training and consultancy. That she uses Facebook and LinkedIn. Beatrice Kisanya, co-founder, Finmat Circle, use Facebook and Instagram. Yes, that's all from the chat.
Okay, all right. So, and the second question, is it better for an entrepreneur? I would like to see that discussion in the WhatsApp group, whether it is better for you to do your own, or is it better for you to engage a social media marketer? Okay, then let's look at the messaging apps. And the two prominent messaging apps that people use is WhatsApp for Business, or even just the traditional WhatsApp. And then there's also Facebook Messenger. And those are the ones that quite a number of people are using. So why message applications? One, a message application has very seamlessly can very seamlessly and very easily move your analog business into a digital business. 1 minute you were completely analog, people didn't know you existed, people didn't know who you are and what you do. And now you start putting out images and messages on the message applications, and voila, your business starts becoming a digital business. So if you're not playing in the messaging applications arena, you would need to do so, because I have seen all kinds of businesses being talked about in the messaging application. So just ensure that you don't spam people, you don't flood people's WhatsApp and everything, but every so often let people get an inkling of what you do and how you do it. So why are message applications easy and the go-to if you're starting off in building an online presence? The first one is that they're very fast. I mean, WhatsApp is one of the fastest ways of catching people's attention. There's a research, I forget the statistics, they were saying how quickly, how often people flip their phones to check on WhatsApp to see what are people talking about, who has asked me a question, etc. So they are a fast communication channel. Excuse me. Then they are free or very cheap to use. So you should log in there and get to take advantage of all that they come with. Then they are very easy to use. They don't have a steep learning curve like some other applications that if you start using, they will be harder. These ones have, for as long as if you can send an SMS, then you can be able to also play around with message applications because the interface is more or less the same. And then the message apps are good because they give you direct interaction with the customer. You're able to engage the customer. You're able to engage the customer fast and in a way that looks kind of professional. And then you have free access to buyers and sellers, especially if you join groups. And then you can use WhatsApp to be messaging people in the group. And then there's a possibility of automation. The messaging apps are really evolving as they continue to gather feedback from the consumers. Now with some message apps allow you to have a chatbot. So you can have a chatbot that greets people. Hello, thank you for contacting XYZ. How can we be able to assist you? We are open from these hours to this hour, etc. So because of that, you can be able to be online, quote unquote, even when you're not physically the one responding. The chatbot is doing the work for you. You can put in information about your business. You give a short description of your business. You give you let them know where you're based, what are your hours, etc. So messaging apps are very good. And another reason why you should have messaging apps is because of this statistic here. 92.3% of people, internet users, access internet from their phones. 92.3%. And they have messaging applications installed. So they are accessing internet on their phone. That's a very big percentage of phone users, of internet users who have the internet on their phone. And then apart from that, they have installed the messaging apps. So your client is somewhere inside this 92.3%. So speak to them through your messaging apps. Any questions so far?
Yes, some question in the chat.
Sure.
Just a second. How does one from Anne Makoha? How does one use message applications?
How does one use message applications?
Yeah.
Yes, Anne. You first things first. If you're using WhatsApp, you know the old version of WhatsApp that was for us to chat and get to know each other, speak to our cousins. Now you need to get WhatsApp for Business because it has more features, and that one was built with the business person in mind. So you get WhatsApp for Business, and from there now you go in and feed in with all the data you want to share with your customers, a description of what you do, how you do it, where you're located, any other phone number apart from the one that they are accessing your WhatsApp with, so that they have information about your business. And then from there, now purpose to always use, if you have two lines and one is the one you've installed WhatsApp for business, then purpose that all your business communication goes through that line so that you can be able to track and see who are the people who are contacting us, what are some of the inquiries they're making, what are some of the things maybe they are complaining about, or what kind of feedback are they giving about our business. So it is very easy to get into messaging apps. It doesn't require any additional setup. The phone that you have already can be able to set you up with a messaging application. Have I answered your question, Anne? Yes. Oh, where is Anne? Okay, you can put it in the chat, Anne, then we'll be able to read it. Or
Yeah,
you
she
can
says
speak.
yes, thank you.
All right, sure. Okay. So let's look at building a website. Let me see by a thumbs up, how many here have a website for their business? Their businesses are running and they already have a website. Let's see with a thumbs up. All right. I'm not seeing any on my end. Is it my screen that is not showing them, or has nobody put a thumbs up?
We have Wangeshi Kamau, thumb up, and Akalakwa Max Miller,
Mhm.
uh, thumb up. Then Jacinta Njoki, I don't have.
Mhm. Mhm. So, a website. There are some people who their businesses are thriving and thriving real good on just using the social media apps. And if that is your business, more grace to you. Continue doing what you're doing and doing it consistently, and it will work for you. There are some businesses which, when they have a website, they're able to capture more customers. They are able to build their brand, position their brand better. And so a website might be a necessity for them. So we will be looking at this. And ideally, if you want to go through a complete digital transformation, then you cannot just be playing in the social media arena only. You would need to also get into a website of some sort. But where you're starting up, start and play right. And then you make decisions on how to progress into digital transformation. Like I said last week, your personality also matters. Don't rush to do things. You remember the vehicle? I said, don't go vroom and get into the double cabin pickup, and you just had a Volkswagen Beetle, and along the way you lose your identity, you lose yourself, you lose your purpose, you lose direction just because you wanted to move as quickly as others are moving. Take your measured steps based on your personality, based on your business, based on your clientele. But ideally, if you want to go through a digital transformation in your business, you should purpose to eventually get to the website. So what is a website? It is a group of pages that have the same address. So they are something dot say co.ke or .com. Let me use Fuliza. It is fuliza.com, fuliza.net, fuliza.co.ke. They have the same address and they've been put together by a company or an organization. So how many pages should your website have? That will primarily be determined by you, the kind of business you run, the kind of products or services you sell, and how much information you are sharing on your website. So why should you have a website, especially for people who are providing professional services? One, it is an obvious sign of digital presence. People get to know, so this business is actually a business that plays in the online space. Then the second one is it is a place where you can sell. You can convert your website into a selling place, a marketplace where people can come and they can place orders for your products and they can buy them from your website. Then it is somewhere to show your brand. This is where you talk about your brand, you talk about the values that your brand has. Then if you have any corporate social initiatives that you run, you show them there. You just showcase what is the aura, what is the spirit, what is the energy that your brand brings into the marketplace. And then it is also, just like we said, it's a place where you can sell. It is a place where you can also focus your marketing efforts. What do I mean by this? You can go all out in the social media spaces and you talk to people about your business, you talk to people about your business. Then anybody who shows interest, now you focus them back into your website. Why is that important? Because a website is an asset that you own. If, say, X was to shut down today, if, say, Facebook was to shut down today, if you had a website but you had never driven the traffic to your website, everybody used to link up with you and your business on social media. The day something happens to social media, maybe Facebook might not close, Instagram might not close, but your account can get hacked. Your account can be closed by Meta. How are you going to run your business if now you didn't have another place where your customers can come to you? So a website is a good place where, after you collect all the leads and the prospects from all the other places, now you focus them to your website and do your concentrated marketing campaigns from your website. And then it is a tool to build credibility. When you dish out your business card and then it reads fuliza.com or fuliza.co.ke, it shows that you're a credible business, as opposed to fuliza@yahoo.com or fuliza@gmail.com. There's a whole different vibe that having your website, your own domain name, gives when you're presenting yourself to prospects. And then it is also a place to capture clients. I'm sure you have ever gone to visit a website, you were just browsing, and then a pop-up comes, and would you like to get more insights about this or that? I remember I once went to, it was an investment bank, when the money market fame was just buzzing around. So I said, let me go and read what they are saying. So as I was there, they said, would you like more information about the money market? Of course, I was there very quickly, put in my name, put in my email address, and guess what? They captured me. So it is a place where you can capture people who come browsing, and then you work them, you nurture them to become customers. And then what is the difference between a landing page and a website? Because when you're starting off completely, you might not have the financial muscle to put up a website or put together a website. You can opt for a landing page. A landing page is a single one-pager. And most of the time, all it is able to do is mention who you are, what you're offering, and then have fields where people can put in their information, contact information, their name, their email address, and their phone number. And then from there, now you capture that data, and then now you're able to reach out to those people. That is the purpose of a landing page. And like you can see, it is marketing driven. So every time you have a landing page, there's a product that you're selling to people. So you want to capture their information so that you can follow up with more marketing. Website, on the other side, is a multi-page navigation. So it has different pages. You go to the home page, you go to the About Us, and then you go to the product section. You could also go have a page that has your contact information and maybe your payment gateway if you're running e-commerce. That is now the website. And the other thing about the website is that the website belongs to you because you built it, you paid somebody to build it for you, so it belongs to you. A landing page is a service provided by a third party. So you cannot be very creative and very innovative around how much content can be on a landing page. The landing page comes with templates. You can only customize it to a certain extent, but you cannot fully customize it. Then the website is a multi-purpose design. That means it can be used as a source of information. It can be used for marketing. It can also be used for conducting e-commerce. So the website ultimately has more value because it allows you or enables you to be able to do more things than a landing page. Is there anybody here who has a landing page? Anybody with a landing page, or anybody who has ever gone into to speak? Somebody has asked you, if you want to join this program, click here. Then when you click, they take you to a place. It is not a website, but it is just a form that asks you for information, and then you key in, and then now they start retargeting you back with emails. That is what a landing page is. So let's look at why would you have social media only as your way of creating an online presence, and vis-a-vis having a purpose-made website. So we are going to look at the pros and cons for each. So social media only. Now with social media, you can have three strategies. The first one is take one social media platform and become the best that you can be in that platform. Everybody knows you. You're there consistently. You're there dishing out just the right kind of energy, the right kind of vibes, the right kind of content. So what are the pros? It gives you time, because it's only one. It gives you time to come up with good quality content. And then you, because of proficiency, getting better and better at it, you start now moving up when it comes to recognition within that platform. And then you can have focused marketing efforts on the chosen platform. Let's say you decide you're going to be big on Instagram and nowhere else. You become very proficient in it, and then you start focusing your marketing efforts there. So what are the cons? One of them is limited exposure to prospective clients, because much as Instagram might be a place where your prospects visit, some of your prospects could be visiting other rooms that our other social media that is different from Instagram. So you limit yourself to how many prospects you can be visible, you can bring visibility to. And then the tools offered by one platform might be limiting. But if you take, fruit salad kind of approach, this one allows me to write long form content. This one allows me to use images. This one allows me to have a mix of some long form content and some images. You see, different social media sites or networks have different capabilities. So you're able to play around if you're on many. If you're on one, you can only stick to what is permissible in that platform. And then there is no synergy of using multiple platforms where you can throw an image here, throw a document here, throw a graph or an analytics here, etc. Strategy number 2 is you sign up and maintain all key social media platforms. So you are in LinkedIn, you are in Instagram, you're in X, you're in Facebook, etc., etc., etc. So you sign up to them. What is the advantage? You are there everywhere, kila mahali. When people are looking, you somehow are appearing because you're in all of them, and you are able to get prospects from multiple sources of traffic. Then what is the cons? One, it is too expensive to do properly. So you might end up doing more damage to your brand than good, because you'll be having a shoddy job on Instagram, a shoddy video on YouTube, a shoddy write-up in LinkedIn, etc. And then you have lower quality results due to spreading yourself too thin. So the third strategy, and this is the one I would recommend, you can choose the others, but I feel this one comes with some semblance of balance, is to sign up for all or majority of social media platforms, and then focus on three. Focus on three that you feel here you can gain the highest traction. So it gives you the pros, it gives you presence in different social media platforms, and then focusing on the three that gives you the highest traction, you're still able to capture quite a number of your prospects. And then the cons are you could potentially miss out on traffic in the other platforms where you're not paying too much attention on. And then you can easily miss the shifting social media trends if you focus on just a specific social media network and not focusing on others. Being present in all of them allows you to understand, so the people in this network, they are gravitating towards this kind of new changes and what is happening in the other. But the choice is yours. Come up with a strategy that works for you. I will repeat what I always repeat. Your business cannot, especially when you're in the early formation stages, your business and your personality are like here. They move together. So don't go and do something that is so way out of your personality that you become exhausted, you suffer burnout, and then you're not able to do it. Then the other one is the website. Why should we have a website? One of the strategy you can use is to build a complete website, multiple page, website you can navigate from one page to another, etc. What are the pros? It can be designed to address all business needs, so providing information, marketing, selling, etc. And it is flexible and it is under your control. Then the downside about a website is that it can be expensive to put together. Then, of course, there is the annual license subscription or renewal fees that you pay, and then it requires resources and knowledge to maintain. If you want to just change one image on your website, either you pay somebody to do it for you because you don't know, or if you know, then you have to have learned how to do it for you to be able to do it right. So then there's an unpredictable cost of ownership, because every time as you're listening to marketing needs, what customers are saying, they're always asking for more plugins. So the more plugins you're putting into your website, the more they become expensive, etc. But if you do it slowly and learn as you're building the website, it is a good thing to have. Then there is the strategy of using a landing page. One of the greatest advantages is that it is cheap and very easy to put together. But like I said, it is hosted by a service provider, a third party different from who you are and what your business is. So it can be made into an attractive landing page and has powerful functions of capturing contact information of prospects at free of charge or at very minimal costs. Then the downside is that it is often locked up with the service provider, so you have very little wiggle room on how to do it, how to play around it, and then it has limited potential for expansion. Then the other one is the structure is often limited by the platform's capabilities. You cannot have it maybe like show a short video of who your business is or what your business is or what product you're selling or you have on sale, because it is locked by all just the functions that the service provider has enabled the landing page to have. So what do you think in terms of website or using social media? Which one would you go for, or which one are you going for, or which one do you plan to go for in terms of a website or social media? Let me see in the charts. Which one are you planning to go for? Is it a website? Is it social media?
Maybe I can speak.
Sure. Go ahead.
So hi, my name is Natasha.
Hi.
Yeah. So you asked what pros, okay, whether we can use website or social media. So for us, we are Zuri Go Safaris. It's a tour operator company. We have both a website and social media accounts. As you said about opening all accounts and then focusing on the ones you think you'll have most traffic. So we have we have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, LinkedIn. We mostly focus on posting on Instagram and TikTok because it's for the visuals. Since it's a tour company, you want to post a lot of safari videos and posters. And then Facebook, because it's easy to use Facebook with Instagram. So how I managed to set it up is when you connect your Instagram and Facebook, if I post a post on Instagram, it also automatically posts on Facebook. So I get to have both posts over there. So it makes it easier. And I tend to notice every time we boost, a lot of inquiries come from Facebook and Instagram. So a lot of people respond to the ads in Facebook, but Instagram is good for the views. And TikTok works well when we post engaging videos of maybe activities or an event. We get a lot of views. So at least we get some exposure there. So we've been fully focusing on social media, but you mentioned something about using our website to market, to focus our marketing efforts on our website. And I'm glad you say that, because for a minute, I think we forgot to focus more on the website. Yeah, so with you saying that, I realized that the things we've been posting or updating on social media, we should also update on our website. So if someone goes to our website, they find that updated information there. So that's something I think we'll look at for the reminder. So yeah, we use both, and it's good. For small businesses, I think social media would be the best for them to start with, because it's easy to drive sales with that. And for example, if you're selling clothes or shoes or commodities, usually if you have a catalog on WhatsApp, or you have like a really like many posts on Instagram, it shows your credibility. So most people don't usually go for the websites unless it's the really big enterprises like Sephora or stuff like that. So yeah, maybe for them, the one-page landing page would be nice as the business grows. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Natasha. Yes, thank you for bringing, you sound like a Gen Z, so I want to assume you're a Gen
I
Z.
am.
Thank you for bringing Gen Z vibes into the whole mix. Yes. And it's good what you've said. Yes. Learn, the way you've said, Instagram and Facebook are nowadays linked because they both belong to Meta. See how you can hit two birds with one stone. Yes, Margaret, I see your hand is up.
Yes, I would like to give my take on that. I have a wellness community. It's called Nuiza Wellness Africa. So I have an Instagram, and okay, the last 2 months I've been slacking for real, but I feel for the type of service that we are offering, our website is very imperative. It's just started out, but for things like booking sessions and also just the booking sessions and things that we might be selling from our wellness platform. I feel with a service like that, because it's community, it's wellness, it's everyday wellness, but we also have traditional therapy. I feel our website would be more, it's very important to have our website above all, but Instagram is also a good spot to build a community in that way. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Margaret. Yes, it's good. Like I say, depending on your kind of business, depending on the services that you offer, some might get a lot of value by having a website. Others, having social media might even give them more value. Even if they have a website on the side, social media is also giving them a lot of value. So take time to make a decision. Like I said, don't copy what somebody else is doing. Make a decision because it is right for you. It is right for your business. Don't do it because other people are doing it. So let's look at digital marketing and branding. And this one, we'll try and take them as quickly as we can because you can see it already after 8. But like I'd mentioned, this unit, this is the longest module. So don't worry, the others won't be like this. Let's look at digital marketing. And digital marketing, when you say you're doing digital marketing and doing it right, there are 4 things that you need to have at the back of your head. One of them is you're doing digital advertising. So you're coming up with strategies for online ad campaigns. Are you advertising for the heck of advertising? Is your advertising arousing a certain kind of emotion? Is your advertising encouraging a certain kind of action from the people, from the audience that is consuming that advert? Then there is digital branding. This is where now, how do you come across? What kind of energy are you giving out with your branding? Are you giving out reliability? Are you giving out the branding of cheap but what is it? We have many options, but they're all cheap. Let me use an example, but this is just for this classroom and learning. When you go to China Center or when you go to House of Leather, you go there already knowing they have branded themselves, so you're not going there to expecting shocks that, oh, I bought these plastic things, they looked very beautiful, but after a year they're all broken and fallen apart. You went there, they've already branded themselves. We have small, cute, little small things that you put in your kitchen, you put in your bathroom, everywhere, and all that. They show you when it comes to variety, we've got it. But they don't really go out there and start promising you that it is going to be long lasting. That is the branding they have. And yet we still go there because they have communicated the brand enough for us to understand it and for you to make an informed decision that I know this is what they have, but I still feel I should go and get some of their products. That is branding. So what are you branding? How are you branding yourself? Are people seeing you as reliable? Are people seeing you as elite? Are people seeing you as, let me use the Kiswahili term, mare mare? How have you branded yourself? Because your branding attracts a certain clientele to you. How are you branding yourself? Then content marketing. Where are you contributing, creating and distributing your content? Remember, we said social media is about creating and sharing information, graphics, stories, etc., to virtual communities and networks. So where are you? Do you create a beautiful blog and leave it in just one social media site? It was never mentioned anywhere. It was never shared anywhere else. You just put that beautiful document, very beautiful thought leadership article, and then you put it on LinkedIn and left it there to percolate. Now you're not doing content marketing right. LinkedIn is where you domicile the document. Now share that document in other places where you can get other people who are still your ideal customer. Then visual content. How are your images? Do they look like they were taken by a drunk person in the middle of the night? Or are you taking a moment, even if you don't have the best of the equipment, are you taking a moment to at least show some effort in the images that you're creating? Be very wary of how you consistently show up online, because people will start associating your product with the way you're showing up. So let's look at digital advertising. And effective digital advertising is when you use campaigns and when you use data, when you use multiple channels and use customer segmentation. So when you're doing advertising, first, what is your campaign? What are you doing with the data? All the data that you harvest in that campaign. Which channels are you showing up in? How have you segmented your customers? So let's look at the first one. The first one is campaign. When you are running a campaign, what's a campaign first? A campaign is where you have a concerted, focused, directed marketing for a certain, it could be for an event, it could be for a product launch, it could be for a new office location launch, etc. It is concerted. How many people follow Nila Baby Shop online? How many people follow Nila Baby Shop online? Let's see by a show of hand if you've ever heard of Nila Baby Shop or you have ever come across them online. How many people? Doreen has raised her hand. Who else? Raise your hand if you've ever followed Nila Baby Shop. Mary has said she has, because that lady is very good at running campaigns. Who followed her? Because I'm big at watching how people are showing up online. I followed her when she was launching her new shop in Embakasi. That girl did a good job. She targeted her customers. She looked at them. What do they want? She listened before she even opened that branch. She listened to people who say, we love your clothes, but we can't afford new clothes. So now she has two sections. She has Nila Baby Shop within the same shop. One side has secondhand clothes, very beautiful. And then the other one side has new clothes. She really listens to her customers, understands their demographics, understands their psychographics, what do they want. And then from there, she went and studied what are the competitors doing and etc. And if you listen to her story, she said she tried to reach out to an influencer. She was given some quotes that are from here to Timbuktu, and she decided, guess what? I will become my own influencer. And guess what? The lady is doing a very good job. And yet she has a very heavy accent. But in spite of that, that didn't stop her, because she knows how to package her campaigns. She's still able to meet her objectives. So once you study the market and see what others are doing, what others are failing to do, then now you come up with your campaign objectives. What do you want this objective to help you with? Is it to grow your awareness, or is it to bring in new sales? so that now you know how to curate the content and the images that you're going to be sharing. And then after coming up with the campaign objectives, you develop the campaign. What is the voice? Do you want to bring out the voice of, hey, if you miss this, this is the next best thing after sliced loaf? Is that the kind of voice you want to have in your campaign? Because it is a voice that works for certain strategies. And then what is going to be your messaging type? Are you going to be in front of people's faces all the time? When we open our eyes in the morning, we see you. When we are shutting down our eyes, we are also seeing you because you have really put yourself out there. What are going to be your keywords? And which channels are you going to play in? Then from there, once you develop your campaign framework, now you develop content. Where are you going to share it? Determine, are you going to be sending people emails? Are you going to be on social media? If it is on social media, which networks? Are you going to the social sites? Are you going to the media sites where you share videos and images? Are you going to write blogs? Then after you create your content, now you implement your campaign. Schedule. I want to run this campaign for the next 6 weeks. In those 6 weeks, I want to be showing up 3 times a week. So what do I need to do for all those times that I have said? Then allocate resources in terms of money, if you're running ads, in terms of your time to create all the content and to keep analyzing how your content is faring. Then after you implement, you evaluate, capture your metrics, get feedback from your consumers, and then the next time when you're running the next campaign, the feedback you received informs how you will implement the next campaign. Remember, if you don't do your campaign right, then chances are you will get results that are below what you wanted. So ask yourself, how have I been running my campaigns? Do you just wake up and you're like, Mother's Day is tomorrow, so I need to do something now? Surely, Mother's Day is tomorrow. You know, there's hardly much you're going to be able to do, even if you have the best product for mothers. They might not be able to become aware of it for them to make a decision to buy. So the next thing when you're running digital marketing is data. Many people run ads. They run ads on search engines, they run ads on social media, and then they don't analyze their data. They don't analyze to find out our customers. When we post in the morning, that's when our customers, which has the highest uptake, the highest clicks, etc. They don't analyze to find out which customers started the journey and then they dropped off and all that. Gather data, then you analyze the data, and then develop ads based on data of a campaign you ran earlier or something. Don't just run ads without them being fundamentally supported by data that you've collected about your product and about your business. And then once you run the ads, measure again, evaluate the performance of the ad, analyze the data again, gather feedback that you received from those customers that made a buying decision and also from those customers that didn't buy from you but had shown interest. Then you use that data. As you can see, it is a cycle. You use the data that you gathered and then you analyze it again, then develop your next round of ads, and you keep doing this until you become a guru at digital marketing. Then once you decide you're running a campaign, how are you going to get it out? Are you going to stay in one place, one place like a traffic light, or are you going to be seen in different places? So are you going to go to video channels? Are you going to go to image channels? Are you going to go to the social media that supports long form content? Are you going to do email marketing? Because at the end of the day, each of these channels has its pros and cons. And I would urge all of us, this program opens our eyes on all the things that we can do, but there's still a lot that you could go and learn about your type of business, your unique type of business, your unique ideal customer, and which channel works best for them. There are some business models where email marketing really works for them. Then there are those where email marketing might not give them as much traction. Email marketing maybe is when for some certain business models, is for when maybe you're running a discount, you're running a sale, end of year sale, or Black Friday sale, etc. But it may not work. So analyze your business, your type of business, your clients, and then choose a channel that works or channels that work best for you. And then we have customer segmentation. This is where now you have your customers, you start putting them in different buckets based on different things. One of them is, what are the shared characteristics of your customers? If customers have similar characteristics, you put them together. Then you segment also in behavior. You might have customers that are similar characteristics. Let's say they're all female, but now the behaviors are, the ones in the urban areas behave slightly different from the ones in the rural areas, yet your product can sell to both of them. So how are you going to do your digital marketing so that you speak to the ones in the urban areas and you're also able to speak to the ones in the rural areas? And then study their preferences. What are their likes and dislikes? Do they like it when you keep sending them a lot of content, or do they like it when you take your time and do fewer posts, but they're able to consume and see it right? Look at the likes and dislikes of your customers and then adjust accordingly. If they are a younger generation, then they do not suffer from content fatigue as quickly as the older generation. So the older generation segments, you might need to taper down on how many times you're sending them content. Then when it comes to digital advertising strategies, we have 4 different ways you can advertise online. One of them is paid ads on search engines, like say Google. So when you go to Google and you just type Swahili dishes in Nairobi, then there will be those ones that will come at the top there and it's written sponsored. These are people who have paid Google ads, and so they are appearing at the top when you search with specific keywords. So if your product is one that can resonate with Google ads or search engine ads, then go ahead and do it. However, Google search engine ads are as good as the keywords that you use, and we shall be looking at SEO later after this, because SEO, you have to have the same words that the customers are using when they're searching. Don't put very beautiful adjectives, but those are not the adjectives a customer uses when they come to search for a solution online. And I'll be explaining that further. Then the other one is paid ads on social media. And this is now where now you find ads that are running on YouTube, others are running on Instagram, others are on Facebook, etc. These are ads that are targeted to specific people depending on how many prompts you gave the ad. You could be targeting people who have ever asked a question, targeting people who have ever clicked on a service provider that provides similar services to you, etc. So when you're running social media ads, personalize the ad for the customer segment so that the right ad comes in front of the eyes of the particular segment. Like the example I gave about women in urban areas and women in rural areas, ensure that if you're running 2 ads, if you're running a campaign, you have an ad that speaks to this segment and an ad that speaks to the other one. Then we have email marketing. For you to do email marketing, first things first, you need to have a list. Where do you get a list? You get a list by asking people to enroll into a program, by asking people, I am sending you a book on how to get started on the keto diet. So when you go there, the person, when they click to get that ebook, now you have harvested their contact. So now you put them in the list, and now it is that email list that you'll be using to market to them. However, email should not be used for spamming. Unless you're running a specific campaign. The others you can make, say maybe a newsletter, a weekly or a fortnight newsletter, etc. Unless there's some statistic that has come up and you feel, for my audience, this information, if I shared with them, it would be good for them. Then the other digital marketing advertising strategy is the use of influencers. So when you're choosing an influencer, they need to make sense in relation to your product. They need to resonate with the product, and they need to be relevant. You cannot have a youthful looking face who is marketing for you a product for wrinkles. For crying out loud, that person doesn't have wrinkles, so they are not relevant. So choose influencers that are relevant to your product relevant to your target audience. If you remember in the not so recent past, when Wahoo, Nameless's wife got a baby, they were made the brand ambassadors for Nip Nap diapers. One, very relevant because they have portrayed themselves as a happy family, a solid family, etc. So Nip Nap decided they want to be associated with that person. Then they had just recently gotten a baby. So you don't get somebody to be a brand ambassador for diapers and they don't have a small baby and they're an influencer. It won't resonate with your audience. So choose the person who resonates well with your product and your business. Then there is a note there. Bigger isn't always the right choice. So don't go for the biggest influencer and pay so much money and then you're not able to get the results. Look for an influencer that, one, is a good match for what you want to sell, and also their price is something that your business can be able to absorb. Some of these very big ones, they might give you traction very quickly, but then it fizzles out because as soon as they're done with you, they have moved on to the next client. So customers are left hanging somewhere in the air. There was a high rush, and then now you drop very quickly. Choose your influencers right. Then let's look at content marketing. All right, as we see how far we are at. Give me up to 8:35. Hope I'll be able to finish. Now, content marketing is where you promote your products and services using blog posts, infographics, and articles. So you create content. The content could be long form writing. It could be an image. It could be an infographic that has a mix of images and words. And then once you create the content, ensure before you put it online, you optimize SEO to boost its searchability so that when people search, your product or your blog comes up at the top. And if you do content marketing consistently, you're able to increase visibility of your business and visibility of the product that you are talking about. And when it comes to digital content marketing, we have them in two categories up there in my diagram. The ones at the top are company content, and then the ones at the bottom are product content. So when we're doing content marketing, at times talk about your business so that people get to actually know who your business is. If there's a story behind how your business came up, talk about it. People love stories that sound human. Humanize your business. Then also talk about your product. Most of the time, people talk about their product so much that but they forget to talk about their company. Do both. You might do a lot more product content, but also do company content. Then if you look on my left-hand side, it is content that you put either for your company or for your product, but it is not primarily targeted at marketing. It is to inform people. So if it's your company, you're talking about the history, who are the managers or the owners of the company, etc. And then if it is your product, you're showing tutorials of how to do it, how to use this vacuum cleaner, how to use this digital camera, etc. Then once on the right side, this is where now you talk about marketing. So company news, if your company won an award, if your company hosted an event and it was very successful, you put it there. It gives you credibility, and therefore it is good for marketing. Then when you have products you're promoting and you're running a campaign, they fall on that side. So always ensure these four quadrants are can be seen in your digital content marketing. Don't focus too much on one side and ignore the other one. Have some balance. Then let's talk about SEO, because SEO is something that people don't know, yet SEO can really give you traffic from people who are just searching on the web. So when it comes to SEO, the first thing is choose the right keywords. Like I said, choose the keywords that when a prospect is coming online, they use to search. For example, let's say you're a nutrition coach and you help people lose weight. You help people look good. Perfect. Very good niche. and it has a lot of followers. However, your keywords should not be look good. Your keyword should be lose weight. Why? Because if I am a person who wants to look good, I will not go online and say, looking for a company to help me look good. That's not what I'll use for searching. I will go looking for a weight loss coach, looking for a company or a business that can help me lose weight. So the keywords that you will use also in your content is lose weight, lose weight. That does not mean you don't include look good. But do not over-focus on look good, because chances are nobody is going to search look good. They are going to be searching lose weight. Have I communicated about keywords? Because at times people talk the way they understand their product and forget to talk about it the way the customers, when they come looking for you, what it is they're looking at. And then when you're describing your product, tafadhali come up with a product that is you, ikona your personality, the brand personality of your business. Don't give the product description that has been given by suppliers and manufacturers. So if you have supplements that can help me sleep well at night, describe it that it is something that helps me sleep well at night. Don't say it has magnesium, or I think it has potassium, or it has manganese, because that is what the manufacturer has put at the back there. Me, who wants to sleep well at night, I will not be looking for manganese when I'm looking for a product. I will be looking for a product that describes how after I take it, 30 minutes later, I am sleeping like a baby. Describe your items, your products, the way customers want to read. You're not the biology teacher, you are a marketer selling to people products. Then when it comes to your page, if you have a website, I'm seeing some 2 comments. Is there somebody with a question?
No, not a question, but comments. For Beatrice Kisanya, sorry. She says Ghanese and with a laughing emoji.
Yes, don't put manganese there and me, I'm looking to sleep well. You know, I will not understand how the two are correlated. Thank you, Beatrice. Okay, so when it comes to, if you have a website, when you have a title page, use your product names in the title page of the website. For instance, let's use the same one I've been using, www.fuliza.com stroke financial freedom. Maybe you have a product that you sell financial freedom to people, so it should be fuliza.com stroke financial freedom, or www.fuliza.com get out of debt, www.fuliza.com / improve your credit rating. It describes your product, the name of your product in the URL that is on the website. Then when it comes to the meta description, when you are describing your website, use short, relevant summaries for search engine results. Do not write compositions when you are writing the short descriptions of who you are and what you do. Write them in a way that you have captured enough keywords, and yet the words that you have chosen are few enough to be search engine relevant and many enough to communicate to people who are browsing. Then when it comes to product description, highlight keywords in bold. When you're describing your product on your website, highlight keywords in bold, because Google has been programmed to see bold as something important. So if your keywords are in bold, Google will pick it. You know, the way it has, I say it is like a raffle. The way Google, somebody comes and searches, I want to lose weight, how to lose weight in 3 weeks. Google goes into the raffle and turns around. And then when it sees that bold, or it's, I'll put it like it sees a red ball, it picks it up. Because why? It is prominent. So use bold, use keywords in bold to emphasize their importance and to make Google be able to catch them faster. And then optimize your page also so that it loads quickly in a search. You don't want your page to be the slowest tortoise that shows up when the person browsing has already moved on to their next challenge in life. Then use customer feedback and ensure if your your website is one that captures feedback, that feedback is scrolling or appearing every so often, what our customers had to say, comments from our customers, so that if I accidentally land in your website and I see that, I will be like, let me click and see what this customer said about them. Have it optimized so that when customers are coming to you, your SEO, your search engine optimization is on point. Have the right keywords, describe your products nicely, have your product names in the page titles, have a good meta description, good product description, ensure your page is loading quickly in a search. Remember, this is a game of first come, first served. And then ensure your customer feedback is visible so that customers, others, prospects coming are able to see. Then when it comes to using visual content, one, keep it simple. Don't leave us guessing like, what were they trying to say there? Is that what they meant? Keep it simple. Simple visuals, don't overwhelm people. Don't make, unless you want to arouse curiosity and controversy, keep your messaging simple, your images simple. Then if you're not very good at taking photos, you have tried, but for the life of you, you are just never able to get it right, then look and see if you can outsource. You can go, if you still don't have the financial muscle to engage old and experienced photographers, you can always go to colleges that offer photography and media courses, and then let them know, I am looking for a few people. I might not be able to pay them top dollar, but they can now use me in their portfolio. So they come, you pay them some little money, they also get to practice what they're learning in school. Then always have good lighting. If you don't have good artificial lighting, take advantage of the times of the day when the natural light, thank God we are in Africa, when the natural light is at its best, then angle your products well so that the light will bounce off your product and they will look beautiful. Then grab attention and offer a realistic feel. Now, this thing about grabbing attention, you can grab attention through controversy, can have a very controversial image and then put it out there, let people just talk about it. For anything that can make something go viral, seems to work in digital marketing. You can grab attention by putting up an image. And I have this image here, Furniture Palace has some new beds that they are advertising. There was, I don't know, Sleep with Teddy, Sleep now, this one is Sleep with Whitney. Kumbe Whitney is the bed. But now they've just told us Whitney king size bed set is small there, but the one that you see when you're driving past is Sleep with Whitney. And you're like, what is that they've just said? Hey, guess what? It remains in your head because it was attention grabbing. It might be controversial. Some people said, no, Furniture Palace, no, this is not your brand. This is not your brand messaging and everything. But guess what? This thing was shared a lot, especially by PR people on social media. And guess what? We got to know of beds that are called Whitney. Even those of us who are not planning to buy a bed in the near future, we still got to know about them. So ask yourself, what is this little thing about your product or your service that you can make just slightly controversial to grab attention of people? Because when people are talking about you, that's the time you take your hammer and hit, your sales engine when it is still hot. Play around with your creativity. Just don't bother on too much vulgar, but be attention grabbing. Then when it comes to digital branding, you need to know, what are your colors? What are your fonts? What is your logo? What is your brand identity? What colors do you consistently show up with? Did we see you in pink last week? Now we are seeing you in purple. Tomorrow we'll see you in burgundy. Another day we'll see you in blue. And then we are wondering, so what are the colors that are represented here? There are way too many. And then the fonts, 1 minute you have formal fonts like Calibri Times New Roman. Then another day you write, I see this even on people's emails. You have changed the font and now your font is now not looking serious. If you're a creative, even your WhatsApp should show an element of your creativity. If you're a photographer, you're a graphic designer, you're an interior designer, you can be a little playful on the font. But now me, I am a management consultant. I cannot have those fonts. They will not serve the same purpose for me as they would serve for somebody who is in the creative industry. So choose your fonts based on the type of business that you do, the product offering that you have. Then have a logo. You see, long time it was expensive to have a logo because we could not pay people to do logos for us. But guess what, my sisters? Now we have artificial AI. You can give it a prompt. May I run my business? I want to communicate this. This is my target audience. Nini, give me suggestions for a good logo. Then now you go to a place like Canva and now you're able to make that logo. So we don't have excuses for not having logos. We only need to dedicate some few hours, 2-3 hours, and we have our own logo. If you have money to pay the creatives, even better. Then what is your brand identity? Are you coming out professional, always speaking in a professional tone, or are you casual? Are you relaxed in the way you do your things? It all depends on your personality, and it also depends on the personality of the products and services that you're offering. All right? So, tukimalizia, now this one, Lord have mercy. Okay, give me until 8:45. Now, I promise we are getting out of here. Now we have logos here. This is a logo that most of the time doesn't have its name, but because of consistency, doing it right all the time, we all know this logo, this tick here. We know who it is. We know it is not a furniture shop. We know it is not a boutique. We know it is Nike. Then there is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola logo in Iceland, Coca-Cola logo in South Africa, Coca-Cola logo in Kenya, in Malaysia, in the United States is the same. Consistency in branding. Equity is a home brand together with M-Pesa. They have branded themselves that if you even see just half of the logo, let's say the paint has peeled off on the lower half, you will be able to tell that is Equity, ni venye rangi imetoka, or that is M-Pesa. It's only that the paint has come off a bit. How would people recognize you if you had your colors out there? Would people recognize your logo? Of course, these are brands that have taken time to grow to where they are. Don't compete with them. Compete with yourself and saying, when people see my t-shirt, after 2 years, they'll be able to tell that t-shirt belongs to Company X and Company X does 1, 2, 3, 4. If we see Nila shop, if we see somebody walking in town with Nila baby shop, we will know what it represents because that girl has been working on her branding for some time. Work on your brand. And as I finish, this is the brand book structure. I will help us. I'm trying to work on an ebook on how we can develop a brand book. One is, what is your brand identity? What is the essence of your brand? Are you reliable? I think I've used reliable way too much. Are you dependable? Are you one that exudes calmness? Let's say you're a therapist. People go for therapy most of the time when they're a bit broken and vulnerable. You want your brand identity to be reassuring. You want it to be calming your people's nerves. You don't want people to be seeing your brand and then they're already vulnerable, they start getting scared. You don't want to come across as too serious. You don't want to come across as those people who is by focus and then they look at you from on top of their frames, of their lenses like this. What is the core of your brand? What do you want your customers after they interact with your brand? What do you want them to feel? Reassurance, happy, excited, determine what your brand identity is and work with colors that speak to that identity and then with fonts that also speak to that identity. Then brand stories. This is a narrative that helps you connect with your brand. Let me tell you, so many people have come up with brand stories. Some are true, some have an element of truth and they've stretched that truth. Others are just 100% fictitious, but they've said it so many times, it is now real. And we have different stories. You can have a victim story. You can have a victory overcomer story. You can have a coincidence story. And that my business started out of a coincidence, or my business started out of this. What is the brand? What is the message that comes across? And then what are your values? What values do you have for your business? Or did you just start a business you don't even know what your business is supposed to communicate. You don't know any value. So when people there are unprofessional or they're dressed how they feel like dressing, you have no guidelines on how they should be. Then what are your visuals? What are the things that represent your brand? If your brand, you've never seen a Coca-Cola logo on a pink t-shirt, because that is how they are. Be consistent on your brand guidelines. And there is a lot more information on that in the portal on how to come up with a brand book. You can start small. You can have a 3-page brand book. Then as your business matures, you keep adding more things into your brand book. I have here an example of our logo. We are called the High Achievers Institute of Professionals, and we have the globe because we want to offer our services to people within Kenya and outside of Kenya. And then green represents opportunities that are there in the globe. Then red represents the passion we have in what we do and how we do it. And then black is about professionalism. It's about being taken as a brand that is serious about what it's doing. That is what represents our logo. So what is your logo? What does it represent? If you don't have a logo, think about it. You might not be able to come up with it this week, but try by the end of the 5th week, you have a semblance of a logo. All right, ladies. Oh, I have spoken until my throat is gone. So this is task 2. It will be asking you to come up with, choose which social media networks you want to be in, choose how many times you want to be in those social media. This will be asking you, do you want a website or do you want a landing page, and how do you want to go about it, etc. Answer them as candidly as you can. If you get stuck, reach out to me, reach out to Doreen, or post in the group. You never know. Maybe inside the group, there's somebody who has already overcome the challenge that you're having in building an online presence. Let's network. Let's get to speak to each other. So undertake task 2, take your time to answer. And if you need clarification, reach out to us. Then I have goodies. The first 6 people to complete module 2, I have presents for you. Numbers 1 and 2 will get a 1-hour business coaching session with me, pro bono. I charge 12,000. You're getting that for free. Then numbers 3 and 4 will get 45 minutes business coaching session. Then number 5 and 6 will get 30 minutes business coaching session. So go out there, ladies. Go and work on your tasks. And remember, your online presence should be supported by accurate digital marketing and branding. Accurate. Don't give us those examples of this is what I saw online and this is what I received. We don't want to be that. We are not in that WhatsApp group. Us, we are people who, whatever we are putting out online as marketing content and branding is what we are actually going to deliver to our customers. With that, ladies, I say thank you very much. Anybody with a question? And so sorry that it has gone on, but it was the longest because it teaches us so many things in one unit. But I do hope that with this, I want to see people running campaigns. If you want to run a campaign, put up your hand in the group. Let me see by a show of hands if you're going to be running a campaign within the remaining 3 weeks that we have, so that we can critique you with love. We show you, your campaign is sounding, unanyonga watu na hiyo message. Be gentle. Maybe you're not communicating well. Maybe you're too abrasive. Maybe you're even missing the right information. You're using all the wrong words. You're using manganese in your campaign. Hey, so I've seen Doreen has raised her hands. I've seen the other one was Evelyn. Who else has raised their hand? Natasha, perfect. Hey, watu ni wengi, masaa ndio machache. All right, good one. Karen, all right. Thank you so much, ladies. Now, let's run those campaigns and let's all purpose to give each other feedback. If you read a campaign somebody posted and you felt, I didn't resonate with it, I didn't get the messaging right, I didn't like the image, let's help each other grow. Tuko pamoja, ladies? All right, any questions, Doreen? Any questions?
No questions, just some engagement from the attendees. Natasha says, thank you for today's session. Wangeshi Kamau says, thank you for the session. Same as Beatrice Kisanya. Margaret Maina, thank you so much for this session. Very insightful. Same for Margaret Mbai. Thank you for such an informative session.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. Can't wait to see you in the WhatsApp group. And I had shared a Google Sheet. In fact, I think I will pin it up there. Let's use that for networking. Let's describe who we are. And the last column, like I had said, is what is your ask? What would you want the members in the group to help you with? Do you want to get sales? Do you want to get referrals? Do you want to be introduced to certain people? Put in the what is your ask, and then we will see how we can all help each other. I want to believe there is no way 50 women can come together and there is nobody who can be a destiny, destiny connector for another person. So thank you very much, ladies. It has been an honor and a pleasure. Let's see you next time when we now meet in the group, and then next week. And now go and do your module 2 and the task 2, and let me see the people who will win the goodies that I have promised. So have a good evening, ladies, and see you in the group.
Okay, Lillian, before we leave, Evelyn Kiteto's hand is up.
Oh,
so
yes,
I'm not sure.
I'm
not sure if it's because of the previous question you'd asked. Ama, she has a different question for you.
All right. Evelyn, let's hear what you have to say. Evelyn, maybe she had put up to say she'll run a campaign.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Okay. All right, ladies. Thank you very much. Do have yourselves a good evening. It was a pleasure talking to you.